Good morning everybody and welcome back to Thailand Adventures with Dan. Today we're going to talk about the best places to live in Thailand for you. Now guys, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. You'll really be helping me out and helping the channel grow, so thanks very much guys. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay guys, the first city we're going to talk about today is Chiang Mai. Now for me, I found Chiang Mai the same as most cities, full of tourists, very busy, full of like prostitutes, the same as any city. Lots of street food, lots of restaurants, lots of bars, so there's a lot going on. The prices for Chiang Mai in the bars, for the restaurants, for the street food is just like anywhere else in Thailand. In any major city, you'll always have higher prices. So the only beauty about Chiang Mai city that I found is that the nightlife is very good. At night time, a lot of rooftop bars and places like that, just like Bangkok or Pattaya. So I didn't really spend that much time in the city of Chiang Mai. I soon wanted to get out and venture, and the next stop that I went to was Pai. Now when I arrived in Pai, the first thing that I thought was, wow, this place is absolutely beautiful. And it's probably one of the best places that I've ever been to in Thailand as far as beauty is concerned. Now Pai is basically like a backpacker place. A lot of like Cheap Charlie type people that love to go to Pai, hippie type people. People that are traveling the world, youngsters from out of university that decided to take a break and travel around. Pai is extremely popular for that. It's got natural hot springs, waterfalls, beautiful nature. It's got like a Pai canyon. It's really awesome, and it's got its own little walking street which is just full of street food. Now the great thing about Pai is that because a lot of backpackers, hippie type people go there, they're on limited budgets. So all the street vendors that are selling you the street food, they're in big competition with each other. The prices are super cheap, and you get great awesome food guys, better than anywhere I've ever been to in Thailand for the food. It's been absolutely awesome Pai. It's an extremely friendly place, so it's very easy to make friends and make lots of friends with the locals. Everybody's really nice and welcoming, warm, friendly. And I spent 6 months there, paid for a 2-bedroom, 2-story house with a great view in the back garden of all the rice fields. It was really nice, and it cost me 15,000 baht per month, and it was an absolutely beautiful house. I made good friends with the owner there as well in Pai. The bars and the coffee shops and the restaurants in Pai are great. They've all got like music or something going on for all the people that are traveling there. So there's a lot of foreigners guys, so if you don't like to be around foreigners, then Pai probably isn't for you. But the foreigner types that you get there are not like your beer drinking crazy guys like in Pattaya or anything. You know, it's very different, and it's a very beautiful place. But the bars are absolutely awesome. You know, they're really catered for you. They've all got like pool tables, music going on. Some have got like basketball courts inside. Really warm, really friendly, nice vibe. Everyone chats to you, sits down. It's a really good place to socialize and meet other foreigners, and everyone's got like a story to tell. So it's a very interesting place, and for 6 months I loved it. I couldn't live there full time. It's a bit too much, but for the 6 months I did really enjoy Pai, and I will go back again maybe sometime in the future. Now guys, moving on from Chiang Mai, we'll talk about Pattaya. Okay, Pattaya is a place that I do try to avoid. Sometimes I'll go. I went, when was it, last year, because of the COVID situation. I knew that Pattaya would be quiet. It's a lot more cleaner, and there's not as many tourists there now, so I wanted to go and visit and check it out, because Pattaya is actually a beautiful place. But pre-COVID guys, Pattaya is the place that I did avoid, because I do find it, for me, very ugly for my personality. So give you an example, yeah, you go to Pattaya city and you go to Beach Road, which is like the main place in Pattaya, and you walk down, you'll see the bars are always full of older foreigners. that are just sat there, just drinking, looking super bored in the daytime. Normally with a Thai woman there sat with them trying to get some free drinks out of the foreigners, and they'll sit there for most of the day because there's not much to do in the daytime for them. And as you walk down Beach Road, you'll always see freelancers, prostitutes always stood on the beach trying to grab a customer, any customer, and just go for short time and make some quick and fast money. And literally all day, all night, you'll find them there, just stood there in the dresses with the makeup on, waiting for a customer on the online dating apps, trying to find somebody, and they're there 24/7. And then moving on from the Beach Road, you'll get to Walking Street, and then you'll check out Walking Street. For me, not that much fun. I've tried going into different places in Walking Street, and yeah, at first it's an experience, but you soon get bored of it, like the go-go bars, the different bars, clubs and stuff that it has there. Not really my style, and it's too overcrowded as well, which is not my style at all. So Walking Street isn't really for me. The best place that I found in Pattaya City was the Dark Side. Now the Dark Side is over the main road, so you're on Beach Road, you go right up, and then you'll get to the main road, and then you go over the main road and go through the soy up there. It's hard to explain. You can check it out on Google, but you go up there and it's got some great bars. It's a lot different. The bars are open quite late, and it's a lot more friendly and welcoming, and the expats are a lot more friendly up there as well. So it's a totally different style compared to what you'll find in Beach Road. Now I lived in a place called SARAY, which is about a 25-minute drive from Beach Road in Pattaya. So, you know, it's just far enough to be out of the way. I lived in a very big house. It's when I first come to Thailand. I paid 35,000 baht for the house. I had an electric gate, a swimming pool. It had a jacuzzi in each bathroom. I had 3 bathrooms. It was 3 bedrooms, massive living room, European style kitchen, about half an acre of land. And yeah, it was a very nice place to live, but it was too big for me. It wasn't really needed, way too big. But the good thing about Saray is that it has its own like beach and Beach Road. So they've got bars and restaurants on there, and you can meet locals there. They're quite friendly. So what I noticed, guys, is that in the cities, the expats don't seem to be as friendly. They're very cliquey. They just stick together with the people that they know, and like to gossip and stuff because they've lived there a long time. But I've always found that people are less happier in the city than they are in the you know, in the towns, or whatever you want to call it, in the outside places from the city. Yeah, so in the city, guys, it's a lot harder to make friends, but when you go to the smaller provinces, it's a lot easier. People are used to seeing the same kind of faces, so it's nice to see a new, fresh face. It's nice to hear a new story from someone else, and someone's new that's moved into the province. People are very welcoming in the smaller provinces, so if you want to make friends, especially for the comment that I got from Billy, you're best off in the smaller provinces. You can easier make friends, get advice, etc. They have little groups that go on as well, like quizzes and stuff, like quiz groups or motorbike groups. You know, they do little tours around every week. In Buriram, they've got one on a Sunday where they'll all get together and they'll drive somewhere, might stay in a hotel for the night or for the weekend, and just have a good time together on the motorbikes, going touring around. So you do get options like that as well in the smaller provinces. But in Pattaya, guys, in regards to the prices of like apartments and houses, it really varies. Don't get involved with any like estate agents, especially foreign estate agents. I don't trust them at all in this country. There's a lot of dodgy ones. You're best off just jumping on Google and just typing in like, dependent on your budget. You know, if you want a cheap place, just type in cheap apartments for rent, Pattaya, houses for rent, Pattaya. You know, whatever you're looking for, just type that in. And just check on the links below the sponsored listings on the first page of Google, and you'll find some really good deals and the accommodation to suit your budget, because it really varies from super cheap to like 4,000 baht per month all the way up to whatever you want, guys. There's something definitely there for you. Okay, we'll jump over to one of the islands now, which is a place that I lived for quite a while, which is CHANG. Okay, CHANG mainly consists of two main areas. One for the younger people and one for the family type people that just want to chill out, relax, enjoy the beach, enjoy the nice restaurants. And then the other side for the younger people, you got all the parties and the cheap alcohol and the cocktails, etc. on the other side of the island. When I first arrived in CHANG, I absolutely loved it. Stayed in a lot of different hotels, tried out different places, toured the whole island, really tried to immerse myself into the island life and get a good feel of it, try and make friends. Now, with the types of expats that live in CHANG, it's very mixed, guys. You do have your warm, friendly type of expat that will love to get to know you, love to give you the story, make friends with you, but you also have your cliquey expats as well, that like to stay within the same group, won't give you the time of day, and then you'll have your expats as well that are depressed and just sit in the bar drinking every day. You know, you will have your various types, but you do get a lot of tourists coming into the island and leaving the island every single day, and it can get extremely busy in the high season. The beach is absolutely beautiful and it's very big as well. You can have food on the beach. There's a fire show every night. They'll normally do a fire show trying to make money for themselves, really, from the new tourists that arrive, but they do it every night and come round with a little tub to try and get money from you. But the food's good. You can have a drink on the beach. It's a very nice place to go and relax at a night time, especially if you're a family and you're visiting there. But if you're living there, guys, things do get boring very fast because it's the same thing over and over again every day that goes on. When I lived there, I rented a house for 6,000 baht. It was a 1-bedroom small bungalow. Right in the jungle, no neighbours really. Used to see snakes every day, millipedes, centipedes every day, but you kind of got used to it. But it was very nice to live in such a natural environment. And if you go for a drive on the road, you've got to be careful. They're very steep, very dangerous, twisty and windy roads. So there's accidents, I'd say, every single day on people that have rented motorbikes with bad brakes, bad tyres, going down the steep and windy roads. You'll always see some kind of small accident where people falling off the scooters. But if you go for a drive down the dangerous road, that's where you get to Lonely Beach. This is a place where you'll have your full moon parties, you'll have your clubs, your bars, your cheap cocktails, cheap drinks and stuff, and it's a party place mainly for backpackers, and it's got some really nice beaches also and natural places, and it's extremely cheap as well to stay there, to rent somewhere there. So if you're on a budget, it is a great place to go, but there will be a lot of like young type foreigners there that are traveling around, backpacker type people. Now, from my experience in CHANG, like the restaurants, I wasn't really keen on the food. I found that, especially for foreign food, they wasn't very good at cooking it. Even in the top restaurants, I remember when I ordered a steak for about 3,000 baht. Sat there really hungry, really in a beautiful restaurant, and I waited. The steak come, oh, it was disgusting. It was definitely frozen and just thawed out and just kind of like warmed up or something. It was absolutely terrible. And a lot of the places that I found, even in the foreigner owned places, the food was really substandard. But the Thai food, if you go to the Thai restaurants in CHANG, it's the same everywhere. They always make good food, cheap food, and it's the best. So if you stay in CHANG, definitely hit the Thai restaurants. Okay, jumping over now to KORAT, or what's now known as NAKHON RATCHASIMA. Now, I did actually live here for a few months and I didn't like it at all. It's extremely busy. The traffic is absolutely mental in this place. It's a very overpopulated, busy city, and the expats that I found that lived there just weren't friendly at all. Just the tourists that were coming and going that was quite friendly, that I made friends with while I was there. So I didn't really spend that much time in the city, and I found a place well in KORAT, called KHAO. Now KHAO is a very natural, beautiful place, just like I found like what was like in Pai. KHAO is extremely beautiful, extremely welcoming, extremely friendly, good restaurants, nice bars, great places to stay. I mean, for the accommodation in KHAO, for hotels, for places to live, if you want to rent a house or buy a house there even, is just absolutely awesome, and it is one of the places in Thailand I would highly recommend. Now when I lived there, I did I rented like a normal house. I think it was a 2-bedroom house, 2 bathrooms, front garden, back garden, gate, driveway, but just a normal house, really, fully furnished and everything, and that cost me 25,000 baht per month, which was, I think it was a bit expensive for what I got and the location where I was at, but they seemed to be the prices, so that was the best that I could do there. But KHAO has beautiful waterfalls. It has a very big national park where you'll see elephants just walking by on the road, and all the cars have to stop and wait for them to pass and leave. But it's a beautiful place, and you have to go there to experience it. So if you do live in Thailand, then definitely go and visit KHAO. If you like nature, beauty, waterfalls, nice people, friendly, warm, welcoming, it's a very nice place to stay, and the restaurants are absolutely superb. Okay guys, now moving on down south to Phuket. Now I'm going to briefly talk about Phuket because I didn't last in Phuket very long. I think it was about 24 hours, so I'm not highly experienced in regard to Phuket, but I have heard a lot of stories. I've spoke to a lot of people. I have friends that live down there, so I do have a lot of information regarding Phuket. But first I'm just going to tell you about my experience and why I got out of there within 24 hours. So guys, my experience of Phuket, well, I got a plane into the airport, come out, and there were taxi companies all over the place, everybody trying to get your business. A lot of different prices, so be careful, because you can get scammed straight away as soon as you enter this island. So to try to be very careful, ask for different prices, and make sure that you get the best price that you can. So after about 30 minutes of going around asking people, because it all seemed very dodgy, the way the people were coming up to you trying to get your business, and the prices that they were offering, I just remember them being very expensive. So eventually found a taxi, got in the taxi, and it took over, I don't know, 1 hour 30 minutes, 2 hours to get to just past Bangla Road. And it was a horrible experience. The traffic was absolutely mental. I've never known anything like it. I mean, I thought Bangkok was bad, but the traffic from the airport just to, let's just say, Bangla Road, it was only a little bit past it where I was staying, took about 2 hours to get there, and the traffic was so slow. I mean, there was so much traffic, it was absolutely unbelievable. So already it was a very bad experience. So I got to my hotel. I remember the hotel being expensive and very substandard, like a basic room that I got for the money, really overpriced. Got to the hotel, unpacked all my stuff. Now the reason why I went there is that I was meeting my friend from England that was staying there on his own. So I got sorted, had a shower, sorted myself out, freshened myself up, got changed, and went to go and hire a motorbike. There was no way I was getting a taxi into Bangla Road where I was going meeting him in the walking street. So I got a motorbike and I went driving to Bangla Road, and oh my god, again the traffic was just absolutely crazy and mental. Now normally on a motorbike you can just skip through the traffic easy enough and get to your destination. You know, it's difficult in a car, but even in a motorbike it was absolutely gridlocked. There were people walking around everywhere. I mean, it was one of the busiest places that I've ever been to in Thailand. It took me even a long time to find somewhere to park the bike, but eventually I did, and then I walked into Walking Street and it was just absolutely so busy. Loads of foreigners, like absolutely drunk out of the minds, prostitutes absolutely everywhere. I mean, so many. I mean, I thought Walking Street in Pattaya was like quite busy and popular, but Walking Street is nothing compared to Bangla Road, guys. Absolutely nothing. So I'm trying to call my friend. I can't hear his voice. I can't hear my own voice. It's that loud and noisy. So I'm having to text, trying to find him. I think he's a bit drunk, so I'm looking for him all over, and then I finally find him after about 45 minutes looking for him because it was that busy, that overcrowded. I felt like I was in Blackpool in England, but on a bigger scale. I mean, it didn't feel like I was in Thailand anymore with the amount of tourists that were there. Eventually I found him down some soy on his own in this bar, trying to chat up the bar lady, which was quite funny. I found him and he was drunk and a bit crazy, so I stayed there for a bit, had a little chat to him, and then I went and had a look around, had a walk around, and it wasn't my scene at all. It was way too overcrowded, way too busy. Like I say, I felt like I was in Blackpool in England. So literally went to go and find some food, went back to the hotel, and the next day I had the flight booked. I was on the plane and I was out of there, and I'd never ever been back to Phuket since. And that was almost 6 years ago when I went there, and I've never been back. Now, a lot of people have told me some of the islands are less busy and stuff, and very beautiful around Phuket. And I've looked at videos and stuff, and yeah, some look nice. It was just that from my experience, I just totally put off down the south of Thailand. And from what I've heard from other people as well, in regards to people's egos, you know, that are over in Phuket, the foreigners tend to be very egotistical that live there, the expats, normally got quite a bit of money or a business over there, etc. The Thai women as well are very high soul, like madame style type women, like high class prostitutes and stuff that are trying to charge you a fortune. And for me, it just seems too ugly, too messy. And it's just, I'm quite a down to earth person, a genuine person. I don't really have any ego. I used to have when I was living in England, but I don't have in Thailand. So I don't like to meet people that have got egos over here. I just don't enjoy myself at all. The prices of Phuket are extremely expensive for the accommodation, for the food, for the beers, for everything, guys. So yeah, it'd probably be okay as a holiday. You know, if you went to one of the small islands, might be okay. But other than that, it just really wasn't my scene at all. So let's quickly, I don't even like talking about it, Phuket, because it was just an horrible experience. Let's move on to the next one, guys. Okay, Bangkok, the main city in Thailand, the big city. The longest I've ever stayed in Bangkok is 1 week in the whole time I've lived in Thailand. Normally it's just a place to get my aeroplane, or where you arrive in the airport, and then literally I very quickly get out of Bangkok. Now, I know there's a lot of vlogs about Bangkok, everybody saying that it's awesome, and I just can't get my head around it. It's something that I've always been confused about, because Bangkok is a very, very busy city. It's super expensive. It's super polluted. I don't know if you ever noticed, but when you come over on the aeroplane and you're about to land into Bangkok, you can just see this smog of pollution over, and it's not clouds, guys. It's like, it's all the smoke from all the factories and all the crap, all the gasoline from all the cars, the fuels, everything. It's just a very, very polluted city. I've heard a lot of horror stories from pickpockets, so be very careful with your valuables. Don't let anybody come over to you in the street. There's a lot of like scammers. So I'll give you an example of one. You'll find that you'll get like a group of ladyboys or women that'll come over and start hugging you in the street, going, "Oh, you're so handsome," blah blah blah. But they're trying to take your chain off your neck or your watch. And the professionals, they've got devices to unclip it and everything. Just be super, super careful. I've heard so many stories. So be very, very careful of that. Watch your wallets and everything. You're best off with a bum bag or something in front of you, and just keep your valuables extremely, extremely safe, and just be very careful. But for me, I just find with Bangkok, it's just too overpopulated. It's too overpriced. I've lived in the city in England. I don't want to come to Thailand and live in a polluted, busy city with traffic like crazy. So many people, like, it's just not for me. Even the Thais, a lot of the Thais just travel to Bangkok to work there or visit people there, and then they get out of there, guys. But you'll find that when you speak to Thai people, a lot of them are they're not from there, they're just there for work. You know, it's not really a place that anybody wants to live, but a lot of foreigners love to live in Bangkok and stay there. And for the life of me, I really don't understand those types of people at all. Okay guys, so again, we got out of Phuket fast, now we're getting out of Bangkok fast, and now we're gonna go over to Isan, where I am. Isan's a very big place, and it comprises of a lot of different provinces, guys. So yeah, there's a lot of provinces: Udon Thani, Phuket, Ubon Ratchathani, Surin, Buriram, where I am. There's quite a lot, guys, but what I do find about Isan is that they're all very similar. So rather than discuss each province, because it'd take me over an hour, I'm just going to literally combine them all into Isan and talk about what it's like in Isan and the prices and the people, etc. Right, so Isan, I've spent probably just over 3 years of living in this beautiful place. Rice fields and coffee shops and beautiful nature, beautiful people, real people, honest people, down-to-earth people, decent expats that are friendly, warm, nice, will chat to you. I just find that the countryside of Thailand is a much better place to live if you plan on living here in Thailand, you know, for the rest of your life, for example, or if you're going to stay here for like 5 years, 10 years, whatever. If you plan on living in Thailand, Isan for me is the best place to live, because to me it's the real part of Thailand. Now, as you can imagine, because it's the countryside, everything's a lot more cheaper, guys. Everyone's a lot more genuine with you. Less scammers, less crazy things going on. So your accommodation extremely cheap. You can get an apartment somewhere in Isan for like 2,500 baht per month for 1-bedroom apartment with aircon, fully furnished. You know, bedding, pillows, kettle, microwave, toaster, the whole shaboodle. Yeah. From 2,500 going up to whatever you want. Same for houses, guys. You can get a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom house for like 7,000 baht going up. You know, it all depends on what you want, how much land you want, you know, how nice you want the house. But it's extremely cheap. For the food, you'll find that it's a hell of a lot cheaper compared to any other place that you've been to in Thailand, especially the holiday places. You'll be absolutely shocked. The people treat you very different than the holiday places. And it's a much nicer, friendlier place to live, and to me, I feel like I'm more in Thailand. You know, when I'm in the tourist places, I don't feel like I'm in Thailand. I really don't. It's I know I am, but it doesn't feel that way. But when I come over to Isan, yeah, everything here is a lot more natural, a lot more beautiful, and the people are a lot more nicer as well. If you want to make friends with other expats and stuff, you'll find it very easy to do. You know, just pop over to the local bar. You'll find expats there. You can get chatted and stuff, and you'll make friends very easily. And you'll find that people do things each week and have groups and have things going on, so you can get involved as well. And I find that the women, if you meet women over here, don't meet them in the holiday place. If you actually meet them over here, they're a lot better as well, guys, and a lot more genuine. So yeah, everything's a positive, and that's why I live in Isan. So other than that, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you got some good information out of it. This has been Thailand Adventures with Dan, and I'll see you on the next video very soon. Au revoir, guys.